different this game.
This could be a blessing for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. That's all I'm saying. This is their drop. They know how it is. Now imagine dropping at your drop, spawning in with Storm Surge, the #1 thing that's been ailing them throughout this tournament. It frees up a lot of flexibility, but if they can win it, Power, Polis, Listen on the other side, starting to split the drop, forcing Ritual to actually land in the POI, something he hasn't done this entire tournament so far because they've been uncontested.
We talk about knowing the drop. They just immediately went for those shield kegs, and now look, they're shielded, they're looted, and they're kind of ready to fight. So they're already on the hunt here, trying to see if they can find opportunity. Cold and Ritual working as a two-man, kind of sweeping around the outskirts here. What is going to go down here? This is a crazy potential turn of events here if this doesn't go in their way.
Talk about the turnaround on the line. Peterbot already taking some early damage. They weren't able to go into that cave and get a lot of those barrels and kind of the big part of the loot over towards Flooded Frogs. Cold just trying to hunker down. See if somebody that runs past this position that he can catch off guard, especially with Peterbot taking damage. It doesn't look like Eddie wants to make any quick moves, but in the feed, Minish is able to get 2, even with Okus getting 1. Fight over at Foxy Floodgate. Still going the way of Visual. Braids and a Minish. But this one's just slowing down so much.
Yeah, with great reason, right? They have everything riding on the line. I mean, everything to lose. Much more to gain now with that nice knock right there and the full finish. There's a Siphon starting to come in. Cole goes for the blind peek before even potentially popping the shields there.
That was a 600 IQ. They saw his teammate go in there knowing the only way out is with the orb, and they immediately pounced, taking him down. That was perfect by them. That's knowing your drop spot down to the T. Ritual gets the second one. That's Polis going down. Now Power basically trapped. He's trapped. There's one way in this side of the map. The only other way out is through the porta potty, and already they know exactly where that's at. Another team coming in, though, from Magic Mosses. They got to be careful.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only way they can get him, though, is if Power literally over peaks. So I think they're recognizing it's going to be a bit of a standoff. Not too concerned about it just yet. Sure, the vault there has excellent loot. However, we already know there is so much more abundancy to go around in the outskirts. So they're just going to play their game right now. Take the 2 eliminations, count them as a dub, count them as free points. Likely, I wouldn't even be surprised they let him reboot him and just do it again, to be honest.
That wouldn't be the worst situation to kind of have happen here, but you kind of said it yourself, towards the north side of them, because of how much respect they actually command over their drop spot. It's no love lost just yet. They have plenty of loot to go after. Boyo Ager's Acorn. All the way from Night Shift, they're just trying to go to Warrior's Watch, grab one of these mountains. They know a lot of the teams that rotate from the south, Shoguns, Solitude, Canyons Crossing, do like to rotate in and around this mountain to try to position themselves. So they're just trying to beat all these other teams to the punch. And for them, first place, they just need to play as clean as possible.
Yeah, but the crazy part is, like, with how much of an outlier Peterbot has been with his performances, when he gets his hands on the Medallion, I don't even think they got it from actually battling the boss. I'm pretty sure he just found elimination. That refresh gave him the Medallion, and then it was just boom, zooming from there, uphill from there. So it's just crazy how like all of that kind of pieced together, and the puzzle started to come to image there.
I feel bad. On the other side, the team that they're shooting at towards Shogun Solitude, Quanti, Edgy, and Baila, even coming after a big win. Trying to figure out how to replicate that, but with a team like them just kind of hounding your rotational path, your way out, they're going to have to think outside of the box. But Clicks, Batman, Booga, Yamzo. They rotated northeast a little bit from their drop spot of Lost Lakes, almost in the path of Flooded Frogs. But this is something that they've been doing almost all tournament long. Go to the west, try to get your surge there, because otherwise they're going to have to box-to-box fight a lot of these other teams, and that's something that they want to save into a last resort until they're desperate for surge.
Yeah, definitely. There's some teams that thrive in the box fight scenario. However, it's always going to raise your risk. Meanwhile, back to the other side of the map here. Peterbot continue to work on his loot route outside the Flooded Frogs here, alongside Cold and Ritual, who are well on their way. And they're going to be looking for eliminations here soon. I do think that they're trying to set themselves up for another, like, 10-plus elimination game, to be honest.
At least they do have timing on their side. Again, the last and final game of the day. Curly, Noxy, Virgo playing amazing so far, trying to climb up the leaderboard. They find a quick and early elimination, helping their surge game. We're just seeing everybody towards this western part of the map try to rotate around each other. Some fighting, stuck in that position. That's Prez. He might even be by himself. The Acorn, Agers, Pollo. They saw that team solo at Shogun Solitude. They continue to push over in that direction, and now they're in a fight against Quanti, NG, and Bylon.
This is very nice so far. But remember, some teams play well off of momentum. This could be really bad for Pollo, Agers, and Acorn, given that Quanti's team just took a Victor Royale. That's all you need to know, that you can win amongst the best of the best. So this is, in my opinion, one of the scarier teams you can fight, given the circumstances right now in this game. I would not recommend it. But what's done is done. Here comes the Storm now to kind of put the damage, put the pressure, put the clock against the team here. Great tags continue to fold for Agers, Acorn, and Pollo here.
And even though Quanti, Bylon, Edgy, they see the point deficit, literally impossible to overcome, it's still tens of thousands, still life-changing around the money, as long as they continue to climb up that leaderboard. And obviously good experience, practice, going into Major 2, assuming they stick together as a team. Pollo, Agers, Acorn, just kind of content. This is a team that usually spends a lot of time in the zone, rotating around, getting their surge. Just trying to play that safe plan instead of just directly going in and be susceptible to somebody that might be below the threshold. So they do make that smart decision, just disengage overall.
I called it. I called it. They were going to give them just enough time to get that pickup, and then look, they're already coming back for it. Peterbot taking the one-on-one against Listen. I mean, they made a mistake, obviously, trying to challenge this team, but still, ultimately, you have to perform up to the standard, and this team is just not there. Not yet, not quite yet. For Peterbot Golden Ritual, they find a third. And that elimination there, they could even double back now and continue to work for more.
I mean, he was just trying to get loot. That was one of the rebooted players on that team. Yep. He thought they were gone. He said, why would they still be rotating around here? Because this is their drop. They command all this space for a reason. Every single piece of loot by them is going to be tracked as they continue to rotate to the eastern side of the map overall. You can see Peterbot dealt 3,003 damage in Game 11, the most of any other player so far, and just goes to show how bad he wants that first place spot, how bad he wants the 4P for Pete.
Not gonna lie, I feel like the pressure is rising for Acorn, Pollo, and Agers, even now as they sit in between Sphinx, Vidil, Cooper's trio here off to the side. They've kind of moved away from rotating straight in. They've gone further and further south, seeming like they want to take these contested areas and fights, but it's only the last two games we've kind of seen them do this type of strategy. So I do wonder if something changes, and it changes too quickly. How will they adapt now, given that they have the pressure of maintaining a lead right now? For some, that's pretty difficult to do.
And considering the switch-ups from day 1 to day 2, they were relatively almost always above that damage threshold. Really not too many worries. And we saw them already today going down, losing that top spot on the leaderboard because of their lack of ability to get surge in just one of those games. One of those games really making the difference and putting the pressure on them, especially since the 12th and final game of Major 1. Sphinx, Vidil, Cooper. Kind of business as usual for them, spread apart. The duo is going to be positioned right below by that lake, one fishing, one in a tower, and then Sphinx, the IGL of the squad, kind of positioned inside of the zone, looking back, though, with the rest of the team.
Definitely got eyes on Clixie, Amzo, and Batman Booga right now. They just took down Polis from that trio that looked to surprise contest Peterbot, so all the teams up here, Ian, pretty good right now. You can see that's going to give Iamzo its first elimination. You saw in the zone there, Power. Did he just pick his teammate up again? It seems like it. They might go down as a team that was eliminated the most in any single FNCS. at this point in a single game with the reboots that keep coming out here. What is Clix, Yamza, and Batman Booga thinking? They just want to get to the zone, play it slow, play it steady. No need to go into the storm and chase the elimination here just yet.
Just 96 points down out of second place. 10 eliminations and a win would definitely overcome that gap, but you got to take into consideration it would have to be called Peterbot and Ritual going down before they gain too many more points for that situation to be realistic.
Oh, look at this.
They're just continuing going deeper and deeper in zone. They were at Mass Meadows, and now they're going right behind. They're trying to take advantage of Snakes, Oreo, and Wigs, a team that lacks just a little bit of experience in this lobby. This is their first FNCS final appearance, going up against a team that has the most FNCS titles.
This is what I was talking about. Boyo, Agers, and Acorn kind of mixing up their strategy, going south. Now they're going back. Like they're kind of doing something totally different. I was curious if whether or not it was going to be successful so far. If they can get these string of eliminations here, it will definitely be worth the troubles. However, are they working off of intuition or did they catch some visuals? I see Boyo knows there's one there, but they don't exactly know where Snakes is.
This timing's got to be good. Wig's got to be patient because even if he heals a little bit, they're going to know he's there, but they might have saw somebody separate as a solo trying to go into that bamboo forest, hide himself. That's Snake, but they're hot on his heels. The Void Mask can only take you so far, especially when it's 3v1. Two can push up, one could put shots into the distance. This is not going to be an easy escape plan if he's looking to make it happen.
They're going further and further. Now as Snakes is kind of on the outskirts, on the edge here, trying to keep a low profile. There goes the Oni Mask. They know where he's going. They're looking to cut him off. They finally get the knock now. Siphon can only be granted to one, though. But hey, they did get a little bit of damage here, and that's what matters.
It's Acorn who's actually going to get the elimination. Siphon's going to heal him up just a little bit. But like you said, the damage is what they were really after.
Oh,
the points
wow.
are a bonus as we got two teams at top, two of our premier teams. One of them, Peterbot, called a Ritual, something that they done most of the day against Rapid, Bolts, and Kanata. We have seen them up here a few times throughout this major, but it hasn't been as consistent as this team here.
They're not going to let them take this medallion. They came here for it. They seem to be poised up for the pounce attack here shortly. And if they're not careful, they're going to come and meet the trio here in just a couple moments. But do remember, whoever takes down this boss here will immediately gain the advantage of being able to pick up that medallion. Here comes the pressure from the other teams, and now look, confusion kind of setting in place here as the boss sprints around as well. You have to kind of track him, track the other team. Are they pushing you yet, right?
Destroying all those builds. Those are the little seconds right there. But the other trio across from them kind of looked to take it with all that damage.
They pulled
an
it at the very
opportunity
end.
to steal it away.
Smart, so smart. They got on the radar right at the very end there to get it while it was low, to pull it towards them and then try to secure the quick elimination onto the boss here.
Back over it goes.
Was the timing right?
Just seconds, literally seconds too late. And it almost, all that loot almost falling off the edge. They had to box it up to prevent that from happening. Bolts is the one that we're really going to have to watch out for, because now he has the medallion in hand. And you kind of think, where did they start this game? 6th place. They are literally 5 points down of 4th and 5th place because they're tied.
Japco with the clutch elimination here onto Virgo, though, to keep him in the game right now. Here come the splashes finally. His team is there to support him. Definitely a close one. And look at this, doubling back towards the Kappa of the factory to try and find Broken in 20 here. And they actually get the knock, a quick one at that. Before the pickup happens, he was kind of hovering around the reboot van. What is going on here? And look at this loot starting to add up now for Rizemuz and Japco. They could be running their way up towards 3rd place right now. Clix, Batman, Booga, Yamzo. For Clix, that would be his best overall FNCS performance if he can get 3rd or better at this point. So it still means something to him, even if it's sentimental, right? Career value here.
Yeah, it's only 44 points, so that means going down outside of the top 8 gives them an opportunity, assuming they're able to close it out and get points, whether through victory royale or elimination. You kind of see so many different possibilities. Train rolling through momentarily. Clicks, Yamzo, Batman, Booga trying to take advantage of that the best that they can. Creon, Zeus, and Tony, they're the ones that are struggling to make by. They have no choice but to kind of end up in that tunnel. But Tony has to be careful. He's the solo. He stayed outside of the tunnel, and now he's becoming the focus.
It almost looked like the whole team was trying to catch the train, but they missed it. And off they go down the tunnel. Xiamzo, Batman, Booga still sitting on that single elimination. Surge is now officially active in this lobby. The first time we're getting a true glance of it. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual remain the last team standing on the island here, but at what cost? They were here for the medallion. The team that took it got away, and it's in the hands of a very, very strong trio as well of Kanata and team.
I think they're just learning. They're realizing, hey, at this stage in the game, we need at least 500 damage. Poyo's down. Poyo is down.
Jacob.
Acorn, Agers, they're scrambling, and Agers is down as well. First place under pressure. He gets the eliminations. I think it's down to a 1v1. He's trying to get the revive onto Agers. On the other side, that's Maxi, first-time finalist. He takes a big shot. Acorn, the IGL of the squad. This is a big moment for them, trying to stay alive. Quickly reinforces, building even more. But Maxi returns to the scene.
There's
He's not wanting to let this opportunity go.
There's another team on the south. Could it be Muzz, Rise, and Jacko potentially inching their way forward from the outskirts? We'll see. But the elimination Acorn was able to pick up just in the nick of time and save his teammates. It's actually Liam. They've been watching this go down the entire time, and they decided not to jump on it. Oh my gosh.
This is big. This is big. This is history in the making. Acorn, Chapter 2 victory. Chapter 3 victory. Chapter 4 victory. Yes, I'm going to say it again. Chapter 5 victory. This is his chance to win 5 different FNCS titles in 5 different chapters. And that moment there, Acorn was the one that saved it all.
Is that across basically 5 years as well? Like, what is going on here? One of the vets in this space still putting up the numbers. It's incredible to see. That's why we love to root for him as well. Man, what a turn of events that could have been. That could be the moment in the tournament right there that sets them back for good.
And it's just like when you see something like that in the feed, Acorn saving 3 straight eliminations. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. They kind of felt it in that last game 11 where he had to go massive, not only in terms of placement, but eliminations. 3 so far for Acorn. That was the cleanup, 550 above. Another shield cracking moment. And even though they're still alive and well in terms of store surge, you gotta imagine the damage it's doing to their resources in terms of heals.
Yeah, I mean, they were lucky enough to fight a team that had plenty, and I mean plenty of materials, so they're good on that front. That's enough to bring them back into this game, but the heals definitely looking worse for wears. Meanwhile, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual continue to make up the point gap here by finding elimination. So Acorn, Cold, going head-to-head right now for who's going to take this Chapter 1 Finals dub home. I mean, you love to see it.
Only 47 points is the difference maker. They're just like them. I was talking about teams for 3rd, 4th. In order to get, they need to get at least inside of the top 8 while their opponents down inside of the top 8. That same situation is arising with Poyo, Acorn, and Agers. 19 teams still left alive. They need another consistent performance is almost inside of the top 8 or for their opponent to go down. But the pressure from the other side, Rapid is feeling it. Bold scrambling around. He has the medallion trying to hide his position, but there's too many teams focusing in this direction. It's all going out the window. 8 HP in a dream. Bold's trying to survive, but he doesn't know where to stop.
If anything, this is great for the rest of the lobby right here. If this medallion starts to change hands, I mean, you have to think about that only buffs teams like Peterbot who are looking to try to find the trio that's holding it that obviously isn't at the caliber, right, that they are. But Bolts manages to survive here, as he should, given the advantage. But look at what it's done to their overall standing here. They lost a player. Pressure's on them now. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual on the other side of this kind of coin here, continuing to stay active further and further away from the rest. But look, they sort of have a clear grounds to the new zone. Aegis, Boyo, and Acorn want to be the first to get there. And they can actually be one of the teams that have the luxury to do so because they have the damage. Do not forget that. This is actually a perfect aerial view as well to kind of show you where the big team names are right now. Iamzo's team's off to that west side. Yeah, Bolt and Kanata kind of on the north side looking to come down.
And if they pull another one of these zones, they're going to start looking at holding on to that high ground. It's 8th zone as Bolts and Kanata to barely get themselves above that damage threshold. Quickly scrambling around. On the other side is going to be Quanti, but he has to be careful. Low ground, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. Just trying to put pressure on teams above them. Maybe even drop one into their box. But now it's time to rotate. You talked about that clear path, and they made it look easy.
See, that's very interesting. They're actually fighting when they could have rotated a long time ago, but they are looking, they are hunting for eliminations right now. They understand what job has to be done right here. They have nothing to lose. If they went down now, it doesn't matter. They want to play for first, and I love that we're seeing them try to do just that. Bolts, meanwhile, almost like a solo player in his own right, just trying to keep up with Kanata, who's playing much far ahead of him.
Yeah, Bolts is going to be the one trying to look for opportunities.
Oh, wow.
Firing squad comes in, down below. They're pressuring Booga, Aviv, Threats. Another team on the other side, Muzz and Rise. They might be the ones that come successful in this whole altercation, whether they get the eliminations in the loop. But that's no problem for them, as long as they don't go down. They're trying to go ahead and make up for one of those mistakes they had earlier on the game, going down, giving up their top spot on that leaderboard. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, 6 eliminations, still looking for more opportunities. They have to become the leaders of this lobby, and the only way to do that is getting aggressive and getting elimination points.
And you know they see the feed going up. When you see Acorn, Boyo, Aegis earn a couple more eliminations, it almost seems like they start looking for more themselves, understanding that they need to stay ahead. But look, they have answered every single time the call here. They have arguably more elims now. They're at 7, starting to break away with the lead here, playing for the high ground position as well, working hand in hand, side by side. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual playing the mid to low ground now, trying to see what they can find. Here it is. The end game is before us.
And the points are very, very limited right now. Obviously, they're trying to hold on to the second place. The Fortnite Global Championship spot, only 2 teams will advance out of this major. But Peterbot wants to be the best. He wants to create that legacy. He wants the win, especially with the fashion that he's been having, the solo clutch after solo clutch. But they're still alive at the top 12. Monster, once it gets to top 8, that's half of the placement points allowed in the lobby as they drop another team into the lobby, grab those eliminations. That's not, again, a team they've been just dissecting all tournament long.
They just picked up about 4 eliminations off of that, by the way. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. Look at how aggressive, look at how hungry they are to try to secure as many eliminations as possible right now. They are not stopping the activity right here. I just wonder, when are they gonna look up to high ground and realize who it is that's up top? It's now. Peterbot goes up, putting it all on the table. He's got the high ground. Acorn forcing low. The pressure's trying to come in. Agers has to run. Will he get away? That's a shot. I think they know exactly what they're chasing.
Yeah, they realized it. The only way to win those placement points really going to be the difference maker. There's at least 35 or more placement points, enough to close the gap. Combine that with eliminations, but they need them to go down. Poyo underneath, box to box, Booga, Threats, Aviv. They're the ones that they're targeting, trying to push them back. They want them off their layer. They want them around, but they want to get the eliminations.
Desperation starting to kick in for Agers as well. Notice what they're doing. Now they almost look like the team that needs to keep firing here to secure eliminations. Who would have thought the pressure to be this strong? Booga goes down. Peterbot finds himself a little bit more activity here, but can he track Bolts here? Bolts has got that medallion. He's in the storm. He's going to be impossible to track. There it is. Couple tags though, not enough. Meanwhile, Boyo Acorn is starting to get dismantled here. One's going to fall, but elimination falls. Boyo gets to pick that one up here. And they're one of the few trios alive here on the low ground.
And they have double-digit eliminations, matching the firepower of Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. But there has a few points remain. Peterbot's going for the eliminations, drops in, and he finds the medallion along the way. He was the one that took out Cold. Looking to take out Poyo. Agers is underneath, but they're narrowly surviving. They're escaping danger at every turn. Poyo does it again. Reunites with Agers in the same box. You see the material count, the resources running dangerously low, and Poyo goes down. Agers now stuck to the backside of zone. First place down. It's up to Peterbot. Called the ritual. The storm's the line.
Couple points left on the table here. He's got to get them all. Peterbot finds Blake with the shot. Jumps out to the side. Blake takes high ground. What is he going to do? He's very, very hurt here, but he's putting the pressure on. And this is what pros do. They continue to push even against all odds here. His teammate comes up. Cold is there to support him. They force him down to low ground. And somehow